pattern and gain. That's good.
Okay, I think we've got
now
it.
it's working.
Yay!
Okay, so flashing means that mute is on. Solid means it's not. That's not confusing at all.
How many times is it going to take us to do this before we figure out how to make the microphone?
I don't know. We definitely need
time.
to put this in the beginning of the episode, though.
Yes.
Oh, we good? It appears to be working.
That's it.
Okay. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome.
This is Romance on the Rocks, a drinky book club.
Yep.
I'm Christina.
I'm Laurel.
I'm Claire.
And I guess we're going to jump into it today.
Are we just going to jump into it today?
I think we should.
It's been an exhausting couple of weeks.
Yes.
So we're just going to go straight into it, guys.
Yeah, so what are we drinking today?
Today we're drinking Colonel Taylor.
Ooh.
The single barrel. There's a lot of different flavors of the Colonel Taylor. We're doing the single barrel today. Colonel Taylor is excellent. Both excellent and difficult to get, so...
Yes, we only have it because I have a friend who is magic with finding
we have a hookup.
booze.
We have a hookup. A good hookup. Who knows good bourbon?
Yes. So this is the single barrel bottled in bond.
Yep. They're all bottled in bond, but there's
This
different.
is the
There's
yeah,
the
this is
single barrel.
This is a
there's
nice single barrel.
Yeah.
And the friend who hooked us up actually does not like this, which freaked and confused all of us.
He brought it one time, and he was like, I didn't like this, and like several of us were like, how do you not like this? This is incredible. It's amazing. Like, what the hell is wrong with you?
Well, it was our tech guy, and he's more of a rum drinker.
Which, yeah, fine. Sure. Whatever. If that's your thing.
Do we want to... What are the tasting notes?
The tasting notes.
One?
I mean, this one is just such a smooth drinker. It's 50 proof, which, I mean, I would say is probably about average proof for this one. It's not overproof or under. You get a lot of kind of like vanilla and oaky flavors with this one. It's, the tasting notes say it's a little on the sweeter side. I mean, I kind of get it. I kind of don't. This one doesn't come off as like super alcohol heavy. Like, it's not super heavy on like the heat in the nose.
Right. Well, like me is like also a rum drinker. It's much smoother and more drinkable for me than maybe the normal
bourbon is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like bourbon, so I like it. I prefer the hotter stuff, the higher proof. Like, give me a good bottle of Booker's, and I'm happy as a clam.
Yeah.
But this is an excellent bourbon.
I like the hotter. I don't necessarily like the rye. Like, I don't like the spicy. I like a little bit of that kick from the alcohol, but I'm more on the smooth side too. Like, I'm not a big overproof girl unless you're balancing it out with like, if you can't get the flavor profiles through it because the alcohol nose is too strong, it's kind of a turn off for me.
I just noticed the sticker on it. It's a Sazerac Barrel Select.
Ooh.
And my water just fell off.
Whoopsies. Delightful.
Yeah, okay, this is not balanced properly.
Yeah.
There we go. Problem solved.
That's what we're drinking today, friends. And this is tangentially related to the book because the book has a distillery in it.
Yes.
A whiskey distillery.
Not quite the same distillery. It's an Irish theme.
Irish whiskey, and we're drinking
Irish whiskey.
Kentucky
Straight bourbon.
But, close enough.
Okay, so this book is called The Dating Plan by Sara Desai.
Desai.
I'm assuming she's Indian, the way the name is.
Yes.
And the way the character is. But here is the Amazon summary, or does someone else want to read the Amazon summary?
You got it up, girl. Go for it.
Okay, so I did not know this. It is a Marie Claire book club pick.
Oh. Imagine that.
It's better than some of the other book club picks that I've read that are just not. That's a whole sidebar thing.
Yeah.
We're not going to talk about it today. So this starts with even with a step-by-step plan, these fake fiancés might accidentally fall for each other in this hilarious, heartfelt romantic comedy from the author of The Marriage Game. Daisy Patel is a software engineer who understands lists and logic better than bosses and boyfriends. With her life all planned out and no interest in love, the one thing she can't give her family is the marriage they expect. Left with few options, she asks her childhood crush to be her decoy fiancé. Liam Murphy is a venture capitalist with something to prove. When he learns that his inheritance is contingent on being married, he realizes his best friend's little sister has the perfect solution to his problem. A marriage of convenience will get Daisy's matchmaking relatives off her back and fulfill the terms of his late grandfather's will. If only he hadn't broken her tender teenage heart 9 years ago. Sparks fly when Daisy and Liam go on a series of dates to legitimize their fake relationship. Too late, they realize that very little is convenient about their arrangement. History and chemistry aren't about to follow the rules of this engagement.
It has a beautiful cover. It's definitely draws you to it. It's like a pretty lavender, and he's on his knee, and it's
Looks
got
kind of like a
flowers.
proposal.
Looks like, yeah, and it has like the Golden Gate Bridge behind it.
Yep. Because set in the Bay Area, because where else are you going to set a book with a programmer, software programmer, engineer type person, but in the Bay Area.
Yeah.
Because hello, Silicon
the
Valley.
the northern end of Silicon Valley there. Yeah. This was a good one. I thoroughly enjoyed this one. Sara Desai has several books that are kind of like in a similar vein.
Yes. We will note, though, there are trigger warnings. Some.
There are some. This one's not as bad.
It's not extreme trigger warnings.
No.
There's just talk of, childhood abuse.
Yes.
Partner abuse.
A little. Not so much partner abuse in this one. I don't remember.
For the mom.
That's right. There is.
traumas.
Yeah. Childhood traumas. So just be aware. It's nothing explicit. It's all happened all in the past. There's a lot of trauma dumping in this book, I have to say. As good as it was like a lot.
Yes.
Anywho, we're going to go and start at the beginning of our collective notes that we made a while back, because life happens and it took us a minute before we were able to
So the trope that we picked out of this one was fake relationship.
This is still within our fake relationship trope, but
this also has a lot of other ones, like enemies to lovers.
Yep. Tragic backstory.
Sibling, like your brother's best friend.
Yep.
Redemption, there's a second chance.
Yeah, the guy is super rich in this one.
Yeah.
Not quite super rich, but rich. Because there's some issues with it.
Look, if you're working in VC.
Very true.
He's the bad boy motorcycle rider, and she's the good girl, family girl.
Yes.
He left for some reason that there's too obvious a foreshadowing that we'll get to in a minute.
Yes, but he ditched her before kind of a pivotal point in a teenager's life.
Yes, and we'll get there.
Yes.
Second chances.
Yes, so there's a lot of tropes in this one, but we got to it because of the fake romance thing.
Yes.
That's the actual one we were looking for.
At least these are more real people. Again.
Yes.
It's more realistic.
Yeah.
Right? She's a programmer, he's a venture capitalist, not some random ass billionaire CEO that we don't know how they got there.
Yeah, and I liked that this one was a little bit of a moderate burn. Right? Not a slow burn, not a fast burn. It did not go straight from they meet to, sexy times. There was kind of a slow burn into it.
I still would have called it slow.
It was slow. But halfway through the book is a little. If you're looking to read romance and smutty,
it is
a third of the way would be better.
It is definitely romance, but it takes a long time, and there's not as much of it as you could.
Yeah, and this one isn't too
to be fair, though, it does open with bathroom sex.
It does, but not between the main character.
No.
It's not main character bathroom sex. It's implied bathroom sex between
her ex-boyfriend and her former boss.
Which,
There's no bathroom sex that is sexy.
It's public bathroom sex. It's not even that's a whole nother level.
Yes.
That was never interesting in that.
No, and the way that she describes the ex-boyfriend is that he's so milquetoast that she was I can't believe that he's actually doing this.
I've been binge watching 911 on Hulu. And there's a scene where the young firefighter dude hooks up with the reporter after breaking up with his girl, or I don't even remember where, and they start fucking in the police fireman's bar bathroom.
I was thrown out of somewhere once because
Were you fucking in the bathroom, or
my
was it your
friend
friend
was fucking somewhere in the bathroom, and we had to go because they got caught.
But also, bathroom sex is not sexy.
No!
It must have been at the time.
I mean, okay, maybe a high-end restaurant might make sense, but not a bar.
But the only reason that you're
What about an airplane? That's public, and everyone goes in
There's not enough room in a pub.
How do you join the Mount High
You can barely turn around in that bathroom.
Yeah, I agree.
No.
I feel if you're gonna fuck in the bathroom on an airplane, you have to sit down, straddle, and just do it. There's no way.
But I feel airplanes intentionally try to deter that with the way their bathrooms are designed.
Yes, they're very disgusting. But this one was in a hotel bathroom. And it was like a nice convention-y hotel.
At like an IT
convention hall.
conference.
Yeah.
Yeah, at like a...
It's still not going to be a fun place to do that. You should have just gone to your hotel room.
Yeah, but it was like a double whammy, right? Where they're at like the super professional conference and they're having bathroom
And it's
sex.
her ex and her ex-boss, and she's
Yeah.
trying
And
to
then they
get...
chase her because she's trying to sneak out.
And
then
she's
they
trying
hear
to get pads out of the hole.
Yeah, and then she runs into a crazy auntie.
Yes, that's the one thing. Sarah does get the crazy, like, extended family, arranged marriage situation. Like, she does it beautifally. Probably
Yes.
because she
There's
experienced it
lots
herself.
of fun, crazy aunties in
Yes.
this book.
But, like,
Yes.
she runs into her love interest, Liam, or as fake auntie and her family know, Daisy's family, and main character is Daisy. Sorry, I don't think we mentioned that. Did we?
No,
we read
I
the
don't think we
synopsis.
have.
We read the synopsis, and
We
it was
did.
Daisy and Liam.
Yes.
So there we go.
Yes.
But Liam is known to Daisy's family as Lim.
Only because
It's difficult for them to put the I and the A together, I guess.
The Liam.
Yeah. Once she introduces to the crazy auntie, she takes
Crazy
it.
Auntie hears it as Lim,
Lim.
which made me laugh.
But she's also
so
kind
hard.
of busy trying to shove the fake
What
a
was
fake
that
fiance, like a nice guy that she wants her to date.
so the crazy auntie has like a neighbor or like someone that she met somewhere that
Some
she's
nice Indian guy that
bringing to
young
this
guy
conference
that
to
they have
introduce.
vetted.
Yes, and crazy auntie shows up at the conference because she knows that Daisy is there.
And the guy is Roshan.
Roshan, that's it.
And
That's it.
Daisy is trying to escape.
And he's great on paper. He's good looking. All the stuff.
She tries to escape and uses Liam or Lim as...
Who she's just run into and hasn't seen in 8 years.
Yes.
And she introduces and hates him for reasons that will be described
Yes. And he's there looking for companies to invest in.
as a venture capitalist.
As a venture capitalist, right?
So she accidentally word vomits and calls him her fiance.
Yes. To get out of, like, going on a date with Roshan.
And, of course, she's also knows part of it is her dad is driving her family to do that, to set her up with all these arranged
I
meetups.
don't remember that the dad being, and it's been a little while since...
He's in, like, Argentina or Peru.
Yeah,
or
but I don't
something.
remember the dad being, like, the driver behind it, right?
No,
like,
but
the dad
he-
was kind of like, oh, you need to settle down, but the crazy aunties are like,
They
she's
took
a
it to the
spinster
extreme.
at
Yeah.
27,
Well, and they're
and she
doing
needs to
this-
get married immediately.
And they're like, someone needs to take care of you because your dad has a girlfriend and is gallivanting the globe.
Yes.
Kind of like my lovely father.
Yes.
And she had to do that before the girlfriend. So now she is retired from gallivanting the globe, I guess.
No, the dad is still
No,
gallivanting.
the dad
The
is
dad
gallivanting
is,
with
but
the
she
girlfriend.
doesn't have to anymore because he has
It's
a
his
girlfriend to do it
girlfriend.
with
Yes. Yes.
him. So he's out of town, and all the aunts call him out in the middle of the jungle somewhere and are like, hey, she's engaged.
Yeah, and that's
yeah.
a whole...
And he, like, comes back from some excursion or something like that, which, like, the entire time I was just
Weren't they,
thinking
like,
of your dad.
skydiving?
They were
or,
doing
like, bungee
something that your dad would
jumping or
definitely do.
something?
Yeah.
Well, see, my father is adamantly against bungee jumping. Too dangerous. He will skydive, though.
Yeah.
Well,
Those things are, like, so closely related, they may as well be the same thing.
for him, the skydiving, you do it, it's safe or it's not.
How is the skydiving safer than
The
the
bungee, it's because the bungee,
They might snap or they might not be
and
done right.
or it comes back at the
Yeah.
bungee. There's more extra danger in terms of the bungee. It's not base jumping because you don't have the cave.
No, base jumping is a hard no.
But like I would love to go skydiving if it weren't for my shitty knees and the fact that Douglas will not go with me
Yes.
because he is afraid of heights.
Mr. Laurel would like me to go.
Look, I don't even like roller coasters, so I totally
when
get
we
it.
were in St. Martin and had that giant like zip line,
Yes.
he climbed up to the top of the mountain
And
with
was
us
like, nah,
and then
fuck this.
went back down. Did
I don't
not
blame
zip
him.
line down.
I don't blame him.
I-
It's okay.
The zip line was so exhilarating.
Not all,
so much
not all
fun.
of us are big adrenaline junkies, but anyway.
Anyway, I am.
So speaking of adrenaline junkies, Lim is kind of the adrenaline junkie in the.
I mean, he's a leather-wearing
relationship.
motorcycle person.
But he's always kind of been...
But he's also kind of an ex-bad boy, right?
Yes.
Like he traded in his biker leathers for venture capital vests.
Which he met he became a venture capitalist because one of his weekend biker people was a venture capitalist.
Yeah, the ex-girlfriend or something like that. Or the one he fucked or something.
No, it was he met someone while he was out working for motorcycle clubs.
That's right. That's right. He was like,
runner.
you should definitely put on a vest and be a venture capitalist because that's where it's at.
Instead of your motorcycle, whatever. So, yeah. But this also gives us the crazy aunties and all the setups and her extreme adrenaline junkie dad and dad's girlfriend kind of set up the crazy family dynamics, right?
Yes.
Because Daisy, as you read the book, she has an auntie that makes something called shark stew, which is
hilarious.
But
like the whole setup for that was
disgusting.
just hilarious because like Liam ends up eating it just
to make an impression on the
to
family.
make an impression on the auntie.
Yes, and it's this.
And like nobody in the auntie's family will even eat what this auntie makes, and they're
Anything
like, boy,
she makes.
Well,
boy.
we're not going to give it away what it is, but you should totally read the book because it's hilarious. But what she does is she takes all the things that taste great individually, and then mixes them all together and thinks it'll be delicious.
Yes.
And honestly, it's kind of vomit-inducing. There's the shark stew auntie. That's that one that they meet at a hockey game, which is on the dating spreadsheet plan. There's the Bollywood dancing auntie, who I think also owns like the dress shop or the traditional wear shop.
Yes. The wedding wear where she does traditional Indian garments for weddings,
like the saris and some of the other things.
Yes.
But you also get Layla, the Daisy's best friend, who's engaged.
Yes.
And there's a whole thing regarding swords and that.
Oh, that's the
because
best
isn't
part.
the aunties like aren't they isn't like the auntie's husband or something who sells the swords or the swords
No, the
are
auntie sells the swords.
That's
As
right.
Layla's fiance for the engagement has a sword, and as another one of their dating spreadsheet plans, they go to the dress shop to buy the engagement wedding wear.
And Liam and the best friend's fiance compare swords.
And it becomes a whole little thing.
And that is not a euphemism.
It is literally like traditional swords, scimitars. They try, each one tries to one up the other and get bigger.
And they keep trading in for bigger ones.
Oh, yes.
Well, and it's great because they also, each of them pay Auntie secretly to be the first one to get it. So Auntie's just making bank.
This is
because she's massively
Which
hustling.
is what she's about. Yeah. She
Hey, you know what? I'm all for it.
Yes.
But I think what we forgot is the way they got from her word vomiting that's the fiance on her side is right after that we find out that his family is messed up and instead of the older brother, he has inherited the distillery.
The family distillery that's like 100 years old.
But the catch is it's from Grandpa. Grandpa says that he has to get married by his birthday, right?
Yes.
By his birthday.
By his next birthday, which is like
in a couple months.
It's like really soon.
Yeah.
So he kind of leans into the fake fiance thing and also says her to his family.
Yes.
And the brother wants to tear down the distillery to put a car dealership.
To fund the car, tear down the distillery, sell the land to fund his failing car dealership.
I thought he was going to put the car... That's right. I thought he was going to put the car dealership. He was going to sell
it used to be his dad's car dealership is failing, and because he didn't want to do this distillery with Grandpa. But Liam has always been close to Grandpa.
Liam, who's a venture capitalist, doesn't want to invest in the car dealership because it sucks, apparently.
Yes, and it has to do with the not-so-great abusive father.
Yes, and the brother's kind of an asshole, too.
Who's deceased by this point? The father.
Yes. Yeah, father's dead, Grandpa died.
Died.
The will is how all of this kind of happens,
and then so that does take us away from Daisy's family and the work friends and all of that.
To his family.
To Liam's family, where we've got like we mentioned, the asshole brother, the late abusive father, the cute little nephew, the cousins who own the bar, the Irish pub.
Yes.
Joe, who runs the distillery.
And he's kind of a father figure.
Joe is like kind of a family friend who was like a father figure to Liam.
Mm-hmm. And he's still around.
Then there's the ayahuasca tripping aunt.
Oh, she's fun.
She's a character. Mentioned. She's a character.
There's a random baby venture capitalist that we'll get into in a little bit.
Yes.
Then like we also mentioned, Liam becomes a venture capitalist because of the biker venture capitalist.
Yes.
And then who's Hamish again?
Hamish is his friend that owns the
biker.
The biker.
The
But it's like
friend.
a biking supply.
Yes.
He's
or something.
kind of
He
an
sells
older
the leather
brother friend
jackets.
type. 'Cause
The
his
old-
older brother is an
he-
ass. And
He's the old weathered biker.
yes.
Yeah, because Hamish owns like the biking. It's like a
motorcycle
repair shop. It's a
Mhm.
motorcycle shop. Yeah.
And didn't he work for him for a while?
Yeah. It's
Liam
like
worked for Hamish
a little bit.
Well, but I thought Liam and Hamish were in the motorcycle club
Yeah.
together, and then Hamish settled down and opened the motorcycle
I
shop.
thought he worked for him.
He did, but they were
Repairing or
both.
something.
But I thought they were both in the biker scene.
Yeah, they were both in the biker scene. So yeah, so the baby venture capitalist, of course, he has a lot of horrible interest in horrible,
But it's so amusing.
horrible inventions.
Liam takes him under his wing, but
Well, but the VC was the one who was always thinking of investing in these really like off the wall.
yes,
bizarre...
the baby venture capitalist.
Yes.
Whereas Liam got lucky the first time and got that beautiful unicorn that made him a shit ton of money.
Yes,
And
and
he's-
so now he's just like, oh, I know a unicorn when I see it.
But
Mhm.
but the baby venture capitalist, whose name I can't remember, some of the things that he that were talked about. Okay, we've got the weed underwear.
so like edibles.
Yes,
But
It's like edible weed underwear.
It's like edible underwear, but it's also
weed?
cannabis.
yes.
Why? Like you get too high, you might not want to fuck.
Look, you get too high.
They
and
already
then
have
take a
edible
nap.
underwear, but this is just another layer.
I just feel like edible underwear melts too easily, and it's all sticky and. Like,
I mean, it's weird to begin with, and then they added like an
Another
even weirder
weird-
bent to it.
yeah. And then there's what they call the leash, where the dog has control of the leash and walks the human.
Which is like
human
not
leash.
a subtle suggestion of like reverse.
But it also makes me think
But
of
it was like there was like a little
bondage.
BDSM in it, but
But,
it was
like-
weird because it's the dog.
But as people who all have dogs,
Yes.
I just have a picture of the dog strangling their human.
Look, man, my dog has a weird Oedipus complex, but like
Your
we
dog
would
is
not...
also like 25 pounds and can't
He's
exactly
20,
strangle
yes,
you. Whereas
yes.
the rest of us have
bigger
extra
dogs,
large dogs
Yeah,
that will,
we do.
if you give
that are
them a
also
leash,
straight up crazy. Yeah.
they will take off running and kill you.
Well,
Yeah.
then there was the sex toys made out of slime
Kombucha
from
slime.
leftover kombucha slime.
That how? Why?
Which was like extra weird.
Okay, let's get into this a minute. How? How do you like get it solidified to be a sex toy?
I don't even.
I
know.
mean, this is like heavy duty, like
So right now she's pulling out the
Confetti Johnson.
Confetti Johnson.
Yeah.
Like, this is not so unsubstantial.
So like but are they edible sex toys?
No, they're like biodegradable, I
yeah,
think.
or something like that.
But
right?
like,
I don't want to biodegrade in me.
right, if it's biodegradable and it's made out of kombucha slime, what makes
Which
it
implies
so
that it is
stays?
going-
I mean, I guess we don't need that thing like for a millennia in the
No,
landfill
but
either.
like, how long does it last?
But like
that probably lasts a long time. It's like
No,
silicone.
no, but
But
the kombucha slime one, does it like go in and you only have half an hour before the thing melts all over your bed and clothes?
Yeah,
and
but that's what I'm
stuff?
saying is that like saying that it's biodegradable implies that it like breaks down in liquid.
Yes.
Not particularly. It could break down over a long time. I mean, some things are biodegradable. Take
But
weeks
how do
or
they get
months.
it? Like, do they put something in it, or do they put something like gelatin in it?
I don't know.
Gelatin would be very short-lived, I would think.
Yeah.
Yes.
That would be even more short-lived than probably kombucha slime.
I mean, there's the one that maybe is the most
The invention that we thought would be the best one.
is this obviously the sobriety pills.
Yes, so
There
they're
we
the
go.
ones that like you're drunk and you take them and you are immediately sober.
But that does not currently exist.
That's
so,
not a thing. But it would be great if it were a thing.
I mean, there was a MacGyver episode where he did something. He distilled something where you never got drunk, but you still had the effects of the hangover. It's not old MacGyver. It's like the recent, brand new.
MacGruber.
It's
There's a
this
new one?
No, there was it was done. It was not new. Like it stopped airing.
I don't know, 10
Like,
years ago maybe?
No, the
Or more
final
recent than that.
season was during COVID.
Okay, okay.
And it was Lucas Till was in it. But anyway, he's a
Anyway.
blonde twink-ish.
Yeah.
Not, twink is not polite. It's just I don't know how. He's not a big like hulking guy, but he's like young. He's a young, lean, cute, like nerdy cute
Yeah.
because it's MacGyver.
Yeah.
So twink is
But
totally
anyway,
inappropriate.
we all concluded that the sobriety pills were the ones that he should have invested in,
And that
which should also be a real thing.
If the science backed it, but it didn't in this case. Didn't. And then the other one was this weird, like, cougar pheromone drink.
So it's like, if you're into older women, you could either... I don't remember if you drank it or if you gave it to the cougar.
No, it was the cougars that drink it.
Oh, that's right. That attracted...
Which, like, what?
I don't know.
That was very bizarre.
That? I don't know.
Look, if you need it, you don't need... if you want to attract a cougar...
Look, all of these were unhinged and I'm here for it.
Like...
Hit on her. I don't know.
If
Yeah.
you want to get a cougar, look...
But I thought it was the cougars who were trying to attract younger men.
Remember.
I don't know. They make pheromone perfume. Why do you need a special drink?
Exactly.
And honestly, if you...
Again, these were all unhinged and I'm here for it.
And he'd turn them down. Ocelot poop fertilizer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How many ocelots do we really have? I mean, is this sustainable?
No, they're little animals. Ocelots are big. That's a lot of animals.
They're like a little prey cat.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Is like they're not going to make enough poop to really do this long term. And why their poop? Why not anyone else's poop?
And I think the only reason that they chose ocelot was because ocelot is fun to say.
Yeah,
and they're cute. And they're cute.
But yeah, so these are some of the weird.
That's why they were turned down by Lim.
But they were like so creative. I legitimately laughed out loud reading about these.
Especially because the young venture capitalist thinks they're amazing. Like some of them thinks he's like, oh my god, this is amazing.
Yeah, the baby VC was like, oh yeah, no, I'm definitely here for the kombucha sex slime toys. And Liam was like, no man.
That'd be a fun game, like
or the sobriety pills.
Crazy VC
where
inventions.
It's like. Okay, where's the science?
Yeah.
What's the science? Like, he's so, like, serious about this. And this young kid is like, everything's like, it's the next big unicorn.
Yes.
But no.
Yes.
Right?
The baby VC hasn't earned his VC vest.
He likes all of them. He's like, why did you even call this meeting?
Liam's just like...
What the fuck, man?
What is happening? But it gives him an opportunity to daydream because, one of the tropes we forgot to put in here that we mentioned, he falls fully first. Again.
Yes, that's right.
But it seems like he has always liked her, basically.
Yes, there was drama and foreshadowing that happened.
But he was a little older, remember? He's the older brother's best friend.
So she's too young. The whole age difference thingy.
And he promised that he would take her to prom, and there were extenuating circumstances
and
that prevented him from doing so.
But all she knows is he stood her up for prom.
Yes. And then disappeared out of their lives, and...
He had been a very, very close family friend. Not just a brother, like he basically lived with them.
Yes. So the dad...
Or did live with them?
Yeah, it's almost. The dad, he was there all the time.
Yeah.
Well, so the Patel family house was a safe place for Liam because his dad,
And
sometimes the mom. When she left,
he
got her out.
Well, but the mom was kind of absent, right?
Yes. Right. And so Liam disappeared on all of them, and so everybody's heartbroken, but there's a lot of foreshadowing about why he left. Little hints where he talks about...
it was implied that he took a fall for someone, and, he ended up in jail, right? It was just why
temporarily, overnight or something.
And then he was so ashamed of himself that he just decided not to show up to
because of, again, the abusive verbiage of the father in his head situation. And, again, we don't want to give too much away because read the book. It's a fun read.
It was actually
a
lot of
read.
Fun.
I did get emotional and... But then again, I am the type of person that will watch Hallmark movies, and even though I know how it's going to go, I will start to weep.
You're the big softie, and I'm the one who's just like, this is fucking hilarious.
I mean, I will sit there and laugh, but also weep at the same time, and I'm just like, I don't know why I'm
But she also sort of nailed how startups work, and, I was kind of in the mid-level of a startup, too, so it was, really hilarious to me to be like, oh, yeah, no, you totally nailed this. This is totally how they are.
I mean, it was, I got weepy, because, again, I like the redemption arcs always make me weepy. It's the redemption arc, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And this one was just really well paced, I think, as far as, the room. And it's nice to kind of have a palate cleanser of a book that has an element of... they're banging and it's kind of funny.
But then there's a story and a plot and there's an evolution here that's
it has an actual plot. And the plot carries through from beginning to end. And there's a lot of kind of
it was
but
nice.
Then, right? They were going to do the thing, but then. And there
were no teleporting floors and gyms.
There were no teleporting floors or weird shower sex or...
Well...
We drank an entire
Which is a
bottle
reference
of
to our
really
last
decent bourbon in 15 minutes on our way to go bang.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, it was
You know,
very realistic.
We do have Irish whiskey, I think, downstairs. We should have had that, but I don't think there's very much of it left, and it's a
Yeah,
hot
but you know
Irish
me, I'm not a
whiskey.
whiskey girl.
And it's a
I'm
hot
not an
Irish
Irish.
whiskey. You would not like it.
I'm not an Irish whiskey girl.
I enjoy a good Irish
Although we
whiskey.
need to do something that I don't just choose and like one of
Yeah,
these days.
You'll notice as we drink how what we lean to more. It's gonna keep coming. I mean, come on. It's heavy tequila, heavy bourbon, heavy rum. We're gonna try to deviate at some point and like actually have vodkas and gins and other shit. But
Yeah, I mean, at some point we're gonna have the listeners like tell us what to drink.
yes,
Occasionally.
Some totally unhinged
there
thing.
will be one thing I think we will do, and then later happy hour where it'll be a tasting of celebrity endorsed
Oh
tequilas.
god! Oh god!
That'll be fun. And
Stay
unhinged.
tuned because
That's
gonna be rough.
gonna be all over the place.
That's gonna be rough. So anyway, segue aside.
my other thing with this, like, I get where it's coming from, but the whole 27 is an old maid shit.
Oh.
Like, you're not a fully formed human until you're 25. Like, this whole getting married young, I don't know, like,
It's supposed to be part
Look,
of the culture.
a lot of our friends that I've, over the years from, like, all the stuff we've done that got married young, they're all divorced.
I got married at 25 and it didn't work. And not that that's a bad thing. I mean,
some people make it, and
there
it's
are
great.
plenty of people out there who get married in their early 20s and they totally make it, and it's great.
I went to a couple of people from my high school were high school sweethearts. They got married, they had kids. And
but there was
great.
but I think there was a cultural bent to that as well.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Because like I'm very aware
That's what
that
was implying.
like in some cultures, being unmarried in your late 20s is unusual.
Yes. I
right?
mean, they still expected her
Well,
to
and
go
I-
to school and
yeah.
do well and
But
have a
also
good job and all those things.
But also get married too.
But also
and
get
make
married.
babies.
But it is a little weird, the whole 27. Like, yes, it's cultural, but also, like, in my experience and travels and meeting people, it's the coasts, marrying age versus, like, South
Midwestern
and Midwest.
Yes.
Everyone in the South and Midwest is, when I first, met people, like, wait, how old are you? You're
Yeah.
married and you have a child already?
Yes.
You have two, like...
But that's very much the Midwestern
and
culture,
it's
right?
Midwest
Is
and the
that-
South. It's
Yeah.
very, you marry young and high school sweethearts and everything.
Yeah, but this takes place on the coast.
It takes place in the Bay Area.
Right.
Yeah, but wasn't Liam from the East Coast?
He
No, they were
moved
both
to
from the
the-
area.
Yeah, they're
That's
both
right.
They're both
Bay Area.
from
He
there.
went to the East Coast to
That's
escape
right.
everything and hide.
That's right.
Well,
That's
like-
just with his venture capitalist group, he was
Yes.
in New York or something.
That's
Yes.
right. But anyway, what we're getting at is if you're 27 and you're not married, or
It's not a huge deal.
it's not a big deal.
Look, or do what I did. We're going on almost 13 years and still not
Yeah.
married.
Yeah. And I'm thoroughly enjoying the single life,
And
but
we
there's
are-
reasons for that.
We are cohabitating.
Yes.
And I get
And
lots
that's
of sparkly
totally like
things.
whatever your relationship looks like, as long as it works for both of you. Like,
I
great.
waited.
Good for you.
I waited. So.
Yeah. Like,
Get married. Yeah.
if marriage is right for you, that's great. If it's not, that's totally okay too, right?
Yes.
Anyway.
Don't let anyone force you into it, because it just ends badly.
Well, but don't feel like you are obligated to go through the motions of getting married.
It's definitely not a timeline.
No.
Do not set yourself up for a timeline, because you will be disappointed.
Yeah. I think everybody
Yes.
learns that eventually.
Absolutely.
Although if you've been together 13 years, you kind of want a ring. Just saying.
Yeah, but if you
Or 8. And
yeah,
I got my one ring. You have 8.
I know.
I have 6.
Okay.
I don't have 8 yet. I have 6.
You're working on the
Any
other
minute.
two.
Any minute.
Well, sorta. So I did tell him, if he does it right, he can ask my dad for a ring that has a beautiful stone that I love. That's authentic.
fair. That's fair. Yes.
The setting is disgusting.
A family one.
Yes.
Yes. And he doesn't have to buy a new stone.
He just has to reset the.
He
stone.
just reset
That's
it.
right.
And it's even better for him because all the rings I've had so far are sapphires and aquamarine, so they're not exorbitantly expensive.
It goes with the theme.
And I hate
Yeah.
diamonds.
Yes.
As a rule for this type of thing. It's great for anyone else who loves it. For me, I never wanted a diamond as an engagement ring.
Well, but you've never been a traditionalist.
No,
No.
and diamonds were something my mother loved and wanted to. My mother bought me my first diamonds.
Yes.
And I don't need more diamonds. The diamond ring I'm wearing was my mom's engagement ring.
Yes.
So after she passed, I got it. But I didn't want that. My dream ring would be an emerald. But the thing is, total sidebar and unrelated to romance novels. Emeralds, rubies, and diamonds, the real deal. A lot of them are non-ethical.
Mm-hmm.
And uber expensive. Carat for carat, diamonds or emeralds and rubies are worth more.
That's true.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And they're not ethical, so it's not like I'm going to ask for a genuine one. Plus, I don't want him spending that much money on an unethical ring.
And also, it's rapidly reaching the point where it really just doesn't fucking matter. As
Yes.
long as the relationship works and you two are happy, do whatever the fuck you want.
And we have one.
And your common law marriage.
Yes.
by the way.
We have a special family one, so that's all he has to do. But until he asks for it, which is kind of hard because my father is fucking off around the globe.
Like the dad in the book.
Yes.
Oh yeah, my dad just got back from Africa.
And he's getting ready to circumvent.
Yes, he will be circumventing the globe for I don't even know how long. Literally
Like 2 weeks or
circumnavigating the
something?
globe.
Because that was less expensive than, like, going out to his cruise
No,
and coming
it's like
back.
okay, it's like at least one cruise
We
is
would
a week
totally all
long.
do that, by the way.
One cruise is a week long. Another cruise is like 2 weeks long because it's traversing the Atlantic Ocean. So that's like
right.
2 weeks.
That's right.
So he's going to be gone for at least a month.
That's fair. That's right. That's
And
right.
he was just gone for a month
That's right.
and a half.
It's not
Yes.
like you can't get a hold of him in this day and era, though.
No,
It's not like it's, you know.
Yeah, I mean, we've got WhatsApp, right?
Well, yeah, he's on WhatsApp and there's the Wi-Fi and everything.
Yeah,
and
it's not like.
totally unrelated.
So, we went way off on a tangent.
Well, not completely off on a tangent.
So-
Crazy traveling daddy.
Yeah,
That's fair. That's fair. So anyway,
adventures,
what we were getting at is that, so in the...
27 is not an old man.
So
So
something.
27 is not an old maid, but also, like, in this, there was, like, the spreadsheet that Daisy had that was, like,
That's
this
what
whole
we needed
plan.
to get to. So
And
she
you
is
don't
so type A.
You don't need to have a spreadsheet for your life for what you're going to do with this in order
So
to
he
have
comes
happiness.
to her and she agrees to the formal
Yes.
dating plan.
Hence the
and
title.
She
Yes.
makes the spreadsheet, and then he's
And
like,
it's only
nah,
7 days.
nah, and then he has to approve them, and then she.
And he kind of does this
edits
hand
it.
wavy, like, oh, you're cute.
Like, they negotiated, though, because, to be fair, like, from his perspective, I get it. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I do not want to go to watch a foreign film on a date.
No, but this
And he's
was a
like,
very...
no,
Like,
but that's
I-
something
like,
her
this is-
ex did.
But
Yeah,
I think
it
this was
was
also
so
very
weird.
opposites attract, right?
Yes.
Because she had this very specific spreadsheet, and he was just kind of like, I don't know, man. Like, let's just do
Like,
the
let's
whatever.
not do that. I don't want to go to this. Let's go to a sports ball.
Yes. Yes.
Or let's go do this. Let's not do this stupid, like,
Yes.
whatever. But, like, they also talk, I love...
But she calls him before every day at the beginning of each
They
chapter.
text him.
Yes.
Yes.
A confirmation.
They text back and forth, right?
And, like, she confirms the dates. She does it when they're standing in line at a restaurant together.
Yeah.
Together.
Yes. And she'll be, like, texting him the plans, and he'll text back and be like, LOL.
And it's like, why are you texting me? You're standing right here.
Yeah.
But he's also throughout the whole
But he
book like,
plays
oh, you're
along.
so cute and weird. I love it.
But he plays along.
though. Well,
Yeah.
and there's always the texting, and then there's a whole where he has to accept the changes on the spreadsheet.
Yes.
Yes.
Because it's like a Google Docs kind of thing.
Yes,
Where you
yes.
share it and you can change it. But, like, it's so...
But it throws her when he changes at mid-date. Like, when they go to the aunt's store, bridal shop, and
That's
then they end
right.
up going to eat with...
Like, she changes it right there while they're in line.
she
Yes.
has to
It's
change
like-
it. She can't just go.
That also brings us to the food. Oh, my God.
Oh, the food.
The-
Oh, they talked so much about
They
the
talked
food.
about the amazing Indian food, the Irish pub, and, like, the food from there. I'm like,
Oh.
after reading this, I had such a big craving
Oh,
for
yeah.
Indian food. And, like, this is not the naan and the tikka masala. This is the dosas. This is
Yes.
the chutneys. This is a little bit
Yes.
different regional. Unfortunately, I don't remember the difference in regional locations for the types of food because I do know it is region specific.
But
Yes.
he is like, oh,
And he is
loves
enamored
his
of
Indian
it.
food because he grew up at her house eating it and loves it.
But doesn't realize they always tempered it down for his white
Yes.
boy taste buds.
Yes.
yeah, he's got white boy spice level, and when they go out to eat, he orders it hot.
He's
That's
like,
what
yeah,
he
no, I used
She
to
wa-
eat it super spicy.
And she warns him.
Yep.
And she gives him shit for it, but she also is very sweet because she orders backup just for him.
Yes.
Because
yes.
she knows.
Back
But
up
he
beer?
doubles
Was it back
down
up beer?
because he's a dude, and
Yes.
this is what
Yeah.
they
He
do.
forces it down
He
and
chokes
is
it down.
sweating.
Chokes it down,
and,
and
like,
he's like basically dying.
Oh, come on. Everyone's done that at least like a Thai restaurant. I have.
I love spicy food.
Oh, I do too, but
Yeah.
you never say Thai spicy. That's
Mm-mm.
No,
that is
Unless you're Thai.
unless you're Thai.
Unless you know what you're getting into.
And it's not everywhere because we went to Thailand and that time we were in the south in the islands. Holy moly,
Well,
that is not the same as like when you get your curry from up north. No.
Well, what's hilarious is
Holy moly.
our tech guy, he does not eat spicy. We went to a Thai place,
Nice.
and he got mild.
Oatmeal makes our IT guy sweat.
He ordered mild, and the servers gave him paper towels and damp towel. He was sweating so much.
He was mopping himself off.
And
He
left
does
the
that
kitchen.
at every meal.
But he
you
does
throw.
that at every meal. He's just generally a sweaty guy.
Well,
Whenever he eats a lot, which is
Yes.
all the time.
Yes,
He has
but
a hollow leg.
he also understands that I spice everything.
Yeah, but you like spicy food. You like spicy food.
I make a chocolate chip cookie that has candied bacon that is a very spicy candied bacon.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, and you make very spicy pecan pies.
They're bourbon spiced pecan pies.
They're
of course.
spicy, but they're like bourbon spicy, and then they're like spicy on top of it.
It's how I make my candy.
They are also delicious.
Yes,
but
my pie gets people drunk.
They're spicy.
Well, it's not so much the pie as it is the whipped cream.
It's the whipped cream that gets people drunk.
Yeah. They don't realize it.
Yeah,
It's great.
like the pie will get you kind of drunk, but the whipped cream will like really do you in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Claire learned that a couple of Thanksgivings ago.
Yeah, I may have ended up taking a nap on their bathroom floor.
Well, to be fair, that one was also, you got here early and I got you drunk.
Yeah, we started with tequila and it went downhill from there at that particular party.
Let's just put it this way. You come to my house, I'm going to get you drunk.
Yeah, no, there's no leaving Stina's house sober.
No.
But anyhow.
Probably not today.
No.
Nope.
What have
No,
we...
not today. I got shit.
No one ever... Like, we're never drunk. You don't always go home drunk. But you get tipsy. And you enjoy it. And then
You'll
you
get a decent buzz, but you have a very well-stocked bar cart with super delicious liquors on it. So, like, it's,
And that's why you're expanding.
Yeah.
Yeah, at some point, Claire is going to help us.
Yeah.
Because we have a bar cart that has no more room, that has had spillover into our games in giant platters
table
shelf thing.
Yeah.
Now has more liquor on it because everyone brings us liquor.
Uh-huh.
And we are not the alcoholics we used to be.
Every time we come, we all bring something.
To be
fair, I do feed everybody.
Yeah, the very well stocked bar
It's
cart.
fair. It's great. We feed everyone. We have a lot of fun with it. Like this Indian family.
Yes.
Where you come over and everyone gets fed.
Yes. Nobody leaves hungry.
It is.
Even if
it's that one aunt, yeah.
Even if it is shark stew, you have to choke down. Which I think she makes it again at some point and gives it to him.
On purpose for him because...
You loved it so much the first time.
I'm making this for you because...
Please don't die, dude.
God. If you're going to read it for anything, read it for the crazy venture capitalist ideas and for the crazy auntie's cooking.
Yes.
Because the way she gets so excited about what she makes and how they describe it and how all the other aunties are like, don't eat it, you might die.
Yeah, you might actually die. And her own family is like, you might actually die.
Well, no, she gave all her kids food poisoning at one point because of it. But yes.
Yeah.
So this book is a romantic comedy to the nth degree for sure.
It's hilarious.
It's so much fun.
It's just absolutely hilarious. But again, I call it a moderate burn. You guys think it's a little more of a slow burn. Like,
I wouldn't call this, it's not full, it's not like smut.
No, and it takes about 50% to get to the nasty, and then it's not just like,
50?
all they
it's
do
not
is
halfway
bang.
through.
Really? I thought it was a lot further.
It might be more than 50.
And they do it like once.
But not by much. Not by much, because remember he climbs the tree, and then because it was again that pact where they weren't gonna bang.
Yes.
Right? So they made the pact where this was a fake relationship. We're not gonna.
We need to add that to the tally count things because I'm tired of these pacts that we're not gonna do it when we want to do it.
Well, you know that if they make a pact that they're not gonna do it,
they're
then
gonna
it
do
leads
it.
directly into they're gonna do the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
so we
got
also we're adding
count,
this,
and we will. Oh, this one.
Yeah, we have a shimmer count, and this one we're gonna add a
no
sex.
No banging, no sex pact.
And I just
Get the markers out.
That never works out. So anyway, they made this no sex pact, and then the sexual tension was so good they broke a bed the first time around.
Yeah, but it took a while.
And it was her childhood bed.
Why did I write pack like
I don't
pack?
know. No sex pact.
Packed.
So we have had 2 so far.
Yes, we've had 2 no sex pacts that have ended in sex.
Sparkly.
Yeah, that have ended in sex. Yeah.
No sex pact. Failed.
And then he falls out of a tree, sneaking out because the aunties all show up after they bang, and she's like, they can't know that we're adults and doing adult activities. And so then he falls out of a tree trying to climb off the roof or something like that.
Climb out of her bedroom window.
That's right.
Which is seriously. I mean, to be fair, I've snuck a boy out of my house. but I was not an adult when this
Off
happened.
a roof and down a tree?
No!
Ooh.
Out behind the sofa while my parents were
Oh my
watching
god.
TV.
Oh my god.
In the room?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Girl. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've only snuck out myself.
Well, they were supposed to be gone longer. And they surprised us when they came home.
And again, there was the no sex pact, right? So
There
it
was
like,
not a no sex pact
definitely,
here.
we definitely shouldn't fuck,
And we
then
weren't
they
adults.
do.
We did this in high school.
Yeah.
Like, I oopsied. Because
Yeah.
they were supposed to be gone a lot longer.
Mm-hmm.
Fair.
And then all of a sudden they show up and I'm like, we're like half naked.
Yeah.
Shit, hide in the bathroom. I'll distract them.
Yeah.
Oh shit, how do we get them out of the house?
Yeah.
They're watching TV. Okay, let's go downstairs. You wait here. I'll go distract them. You run here. And then I'll say I'm doing laundry and taking out the trash.
There you go.
And make a lot of noise. And then he had to jump the fence. And
Nah.
this isn't like a wooden fence. This is the wrought iron fence with the iron spikes
Oh
at the
my
top.
God. But I feel like breaking the bed is a trope,
Woo-woo.
too.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I think they broke more than just the bed, didn't they? I think they broke like all of her childhood furniture.
Right.
Yeah.
And this was even before they didn't even do the deed.
No.
They got close.
This was foreplay and they were breaking things.
Granted, if it's your childhood bed, it probably is a little old and hasn't lasted.
But the
very
aunts and uncles come in. She doesn't answer. Right? Something about like they're knocking down the door. They're gonna come in
and the bed is broken.
Yeah.
And she throws them out the window.
Right.
essentially.
And he's like, I've done the window all the time with your brother. She's like,
Yeah.
I know.
And we mentioned this a little later again, but like, what is with this fucking Avengers underpants?
Oh God.
So I feel like they leaned. So Daisy, full disclosure, is an engineer, and I feel like they leaned a little too hard into like the nerdy, engineer girl who only
Yeah.
fits in with the dudes kind
Yeah,
of thing.
I get
Really
it,
type
but
A,
as a
that.
former one.
Look, I'm a full-on nerd, and I don't have Avengers underwear.
Okay, to be fair though, I've never been, nor will I ever be, a stereotypical STEM girl.
No.
I mean, let's be honest. I'm the girl that got into STEM because my dad told me I could get my nice designer heels.
If you became an engineer,
Yeah, pretty much.
basically.
My dad's literally, though, he was like, you're good at science and physics, and you really love fancy shoes. This is a career choice that will guarantee you can buy those things.
Yeah, and I'm a full-on gamer girl to some extent,
And
right? I'm like a
Douglas-
huge nerd, and I don't have Avengers underwear.
Douglas thinks it's ridiculous that is why I got into the field I got into.
I have anime underwear, you know what I mean? Like, that just, it felt a little bit like they were leaning a little too hard into that trope.
I mean, to be fair, though, I've met women that were essentially Sheldon from The Big Bang Theory.
And if that's your thing, that's great. It just felt a little too much. Like they were leaning into a stereotype on this one to kind of make her quirky.
But that's usually the case with romance novels, right? They lean into a stereotype, whether they mean to or not, just to... I feel like they want to emphasize the difference because she is the nerd, she is the programmer, she is the... the STEM,
she's the planner. She's
the cultural lean hard.
She's
because
good girl.
he's the bad boy. He didn't go to college. He barely finished high school. He was in jail.
Yeah.
Rides a motorcycle.
Yeah.
You can be a STEM person and still be a bit of a bad boy. You don't meet very many of them as far as I've been.
Yeah, and you can still be nerdy. And
I've actually met one. He was a total pothead and muscly bro, but was also into STEM.
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting that she has such a good family and loving, but then they had the thing with the mother, and then he has the bad father, but the whole family's kind of
everybody had trauma. There was a lot of trauma.
She had mom trauma, and he had dad trauma, and brother, and
there was a lot of trauma dumping, I have to say. Not
and
even
it all kind of came at the end of the book too, right? So it kind of came a little bit like
there was more buildup of plot and story, and then all the drama and trauma and that rhymed.
Yes,
all happened in the second half of the book.
Yeah, I mean, it just kind of felt like drama dumping.
Right, it was romantic comedy, drama dumping.
Yeah.
What the fuck is happening?
Yes, and it was almost like she was trying to balance it out a little bit and then leaned almost a little bit too hard into kind of like...
Well, and that was... also was I think influenced the heavy foreshadowing about why Liam left, right?
Yes, but it was also a little bit obvious, right? It was kind of like, oh, well, I did it for somebody really important. It's like, it's definitely the brother.
It's the brother. Who else would
You take a fall for the brother, right? He was like Mr. Perfect, right?
Yes.
He's the oldest son.
Become a doctor.
Mr.
Became a
Perfect,
doctor.
can't do anything wrong, and he's the one who fucked up, and
He's
Liam
like Doctors
took
Without
the fall
Borders.
for
And
it, right?
Liam took the fall because it was the brother and the family saved him, so he's like, no, they can't do this, and it's all like, all blah, blah, blah. I'm like...
And I don't deserve any... That's the whole time.
Yeah,
I don't
kind of
deserve
came from the
anything.
trauma place of like, oh, he deserves it more than I do. I'm going to take the fall because I don't want him.
From personal experiences, like, I get it. But I've also had...
Yeah, but at the same time...
I've had therapy over half my life.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. Like, where the mental place where Liam was. Like, I fully get it. Like, the trauma and the drama and the therapy that I started when I was 16. Like...
Yeah.
I get the headspace he was in.
Yes.
It was not
Fair.
healthy. It was not a healthy response.
It wasn't healthy, and it was totally valid.
And
right?
he had no one, and he wasn't willing to be honest and candid with anybody, so he didn't get the help he needed for it.
Yeah, and I mean, to be fair, she kind of nailed that part of that personality,
Yes.
right? Of when you have trauma like that, that's kind of what your mindset is.
And it's so internalized, and you are so proud you don't have anyone around you that you want to get help, and it doesn't help. I think it would have been different for him if Liam was dealing with his own trauma, but at the same time, Daisy's older brother, the mom had left.
Right.
Yes.
So he,
Was
like,
also
if the
guilty.
mom hadn't left, I think the brother would have pulled Liam out of that space and
Probably
gotten
so.
him help.
But he was dealing with his own stuff.
Yeah, so it made it so a clusterfuck of trauma, and they make it seem like Liam only had one friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, which wasn't really true. And I mean,
No.
they kind of made it sound like the older brother also only had one friend.
Right, and like from experience, like with the shit I dealt with, in some cases was not like the extreme trauma there, but at the same time was massive trauma.
Yeah.
Won't go into it. No one needs to know about it. But like, I got lucky. I don't speak to half of these people from high school anymore, but a good chunk of them saved my life because of the fact that like, oh no, she needs help.
Yeah.
And we are going to find a way to get at her. You know? I love that she gives these people, like, real problems. Mm-hmm. But I feel like the lack of help also is very real. But also the help, like, having the best friend and not have the help. You know? It didn't... Yeah. I felt like there would have been more friends in that group.
Yes.
Someone would have seen something.
It felt a little bit glossed over.
Yes, it really did. It wasn't part of the story, right?
It wasn't.
No. And that's the thing with these. Like, you have to balance...
And the brother was a secondary character, right? So he was a little
you have to balance.
Yeah.
If it was a normal book and it wasn't heavy in the romance, I think, and it would have definitely been a lot longer if they were going to develop this part.
Yes.
Like, and this is more serious than some of our other romance novels because let's be real, this was not a Kindle Unlimited read. This wasn't a self-published read. This was something that went through a publisher and an editor and was... You know, we had to get it on Libby to borrow by library book, or we had to buy it.
Yeah.
And it's an excellently written book. So it didn't have some of the, wait, what the hell is happening situations.
It was not utterly unhinged.
And it wasn't heavy on the smut. So it's a very beautifully written book.
Yes.
But it's definitely much more on the serious side compared to some of the other ones we might read that are like...
it has some depth to it.
It has some depth to it, but it was like 3/4 comedy, and then like the last quarter of it was just like, oh, shit, we need to put some drama in here to balance out the comedy of it, right?
Right.
And it was like, then it just turned into like a series of unfortunate events.
When things are bad, you can't always see the good that's happening.
No,
so
but there were a lot of like but-thens kind of at the end.
But this, and then. It's like, okay, dude, we don't need all these and-thens. Have one horrible thing happen.
Right.
It's a romance novel. Don't have 5 horrible things happen.
Yeah, don't have 11 horrible things happen.
It was trying to be too realistic in that way, maybe. Like,
but it was almost like, oh, 3/4 of the book is romantic comedy. We need to, like, put some drama in here, and they just, like, crammed it into the last quarter of the book.
Oh, God, right?
Because there's, like, we listed it all out, because there was, like, a car accident that kind of set all of this off, and then the car accident was traumatic, and then they break up over the car accident because there's a misunderstanding.
The car accident happened was because they were on his motorcycle.
Yes, and she finally agreed to get on his motorcycle because she's terrified of it, which legitimate.
And then...
But it's like a hot motorcycle. It's not like a comfortable one for a passenger.
And, like, to be fair, like, Liam, like, mitigates the damages as much as he can when they, like,
and he
wreck
makes
the motorcycle.
because he realizes he is totally in love with her before this happens. And he
has an oh shit moment when they're on the motorcycle and kind of tries to protect her.
Yes, and he's got her in the highest protective gear
Yes,
possible.
he buys her like basically a bubble suit to go on this motorcycle.
And the thing is, he's got a Ducati. This is a speed bike.
Yes.
This is a crotch rocket. This is like
yes.
my dream motorcycle that
yes.
Douglas refused, like,
Everybody's
is not a
dream
supporter
yes.
of. He will not support it. My father refused to teach me how to ride a motorcycle. He was willing until
because he knows that you're an adrenaline junkie like him, and he doesn't want you to die.
No, he was willing to do it until he realized the bike I wanted was a fucking Ducati, and he's like, "Oh hell
no.
But I also feel like most of the books or movies that you read have Ducatis because they have to be like.
Because we all know that a Ducati is what the hot guys drive, right?
No, but then you look at like Sons of Anarchy, and those are not
That's
Ducatis.
different.
Those are
not
the big
hot.
Okay, but
muscle
there's
bikes.
yes, but that's not
The motorcycle clubs do not do Ducatis.
Sons of
No.
Anarchy is about like bad boy motors,
That's
like
like-
Hell's Angels motorcycle.
Yeah, that's
club.
But like
Totally
that's the
different
thing.
type
It's
of
like
deal.
he worked briefly for a motorcycle club, so it's like okay, he has a Ducati now because it's a VC.
Right.
Then it's like okay, he had the heavy duty.
He had the Hell's Angels
Type
like
bike, the Harley
Davidson.
Yeah. Oh, those things are sexy.
Yes.
Like
Anyway.
my ex, he had no attraction anymore, but there's a little bit of because he works on motorcycles and it's kind of hot.
Yeah. So anyway,
There's a car
accident.
Then there's a trauma response
To the car accident.
from him because he thinks he's killed her and whatever, and then she realizes she cares about him, but that doesn't go with the trauma.
But he
response.
kind of like over indexes and like this can't possibly work because I nearly killed you, and she's just kind of like
And he pushes
it's
her
okay.
And
away.
then they
She
break
realizes
up, and
that-
he moves back east and realizes he gets the partnership.
Yeah, so he gets the partnership.
But he's not sure
he has to
because he
move
has
there.
to come back and finalize everything. But
Well,
the
but it
same,
would require him to move to New York, and he's kind of torn because his heart is still in
and
the Bay
he has
Area.
to come back to deal with the. Well, he
Yes.
comes back because his asshole brother stops being an asshole because he nearly died, and
Yes.
or thought his brother nearly died, and the
And there's
asshole
a
brother.
misunderstanding
But
about
the
raising
asshole
the
brother
distillery.
couldn't get a hold of him, so freaked out, called him, and then they came out and they're raising the distillery.
but they're still raising the distillery.
But there was
then-
a misunderstanding about that. Because,
and
like, they
then-
weren't going to, and then they did it by accident.
And then the nephew was missing and trying to like etch his name into one of the barrels as part of
in
the
the
family,
distillery,
so the distillery
yes.
wouldn't break. And then so they realized let's sell the dealership and put the money into the distillery, and that fixes it. And he's like, okay, fuck it. And then Daisy suddenly becomes the CEO of her company. Oh, we never talked about the company she worked for. That's
No,
a
we
big thing. It was a feminine hygiene company.
But it was all like friendly,
Yes.
feminine hygiene
Good for
products.
you. Like,
And it was a family, but the guy in charge couldn't do it on his own. It was not a good CEO.
The guy in charge kind of wanted to.
he wanted to do the.
He was
like,
more
he
the
wanted
techie guy. He
Yeah,
was a tech
yes,
guy.
yes.
He was not. He could not run the business.
He was the creator.
and Daisy, without even trying, starts to run the business. And so the guy's like, "I don't want to do this. You should
You
be the
do
CEO."
it. And she's like, but I don't want to do that either.
But then she's like, "Wait, maybe I should." And then
By the
becomes
end,
the
yeah.
CEO.
Yes.
And then they come back, and Crazy Dad comes back, and
Crazy Dad comes back, and it turns out that Dad has gotten engaged to a girlfriend while they're on the trip to Argentina or whatever it is. And so there's an engagement party that happens, right? And all of this happens, like, literally, like...
in the last quarter of the book.
Like Sara Desai puts you on the Ducati with these guys and just basically just, like, guns it through the end of the book.
Yes!
Like, all this
That is
happens
the
in rapid
beautiful-
fire.
yes.
Yes.
Oh my god, yes. And it's just...
So while he's back
it's
dealing
just
with brother.
so stressful.
Yeah, it's super
Yes.
stressful.
You have all of this great, hilarious comedy,
And
this
then all of a sudden, like,
banter.
all this
What
shit
the hell
happens. at the end.
happened?
It's like the
Like,
swords and
you
the
get
dating
whiplash from
and
the
the
last quarter
sexy
of this book.
times and the falling out of the tree and all that. And then all of a sudden,
Everything.
like, you're like,
Bam,
okay,
bam, bam,
hold
bam.
on, wait, what happened?
No.
So
But, like-
he's back dealing with the raised distillery and all this stuff, and he goes to find her, and the neighbor's like, "Oh,
No, before the neighbors. So
Uh-huh.
before Dad gets engaged, we forgot about this. It happened.
oh,
Liam
yeah,
Comes back to the party. It was like welcome back party
That's right.
kind of thing.
For Dad, yes.
For Dad, where Liam is like updating their dating plan to try to get in and knows all of this and asks the family after Dad gets engaged, but before like the wedding, the Sangeet or whatever that party is. I don't think it was. Was it the Sangeet party or
I
something?
don't know.
It happened like it's a traditional Indian party that we probably all know about because Nick Jonas and Priyanka has talked about it or something. I don't know. I only know because they talk about it a lot, and I was confused.
Don't look at me.
was
I don't give a
curious.
shit about celebrities.
I was curious. I was just curious about
Fair,
the tradition.
Yeah.
And this was even before I read the book. But then he asks permission from dad and family and tries to, like, get it.
Yeah, but the dad
And gets
originally
fed.
is really hurt.
Yes.
He's hurt because
Liam disappeared.
Yeah, he didn't just leave
Her
the brother
or the best
or
friend.
her.
Yeah.
He left the dad.
He left the whole
who cared.
family who cared, and
Yeah.
so they get over that.
But and he gets more of the horrible shark stew.
But yeah,
That's
he has to go through the Inquisition from the whole family, which is hilarious.
And basically choke down the shark stew.
And
in
then
order to
meets
be...
the dad one-on-one.
That's right.
And
That's right. And then it was like, I took the fall for your son.
Well, no, he didn't say that either yet. But I think the dad figured it out.
Oh, that's right. That
the dad
kind of later.
The dad kind of guessed.
Yeah, he has a dad.
Because they don't fully. Sarah doesn't fully tell who did it, even though you already kind of know until like the
very end, right?
It's coming up because it's the engagement party.
Yes.
Where the brother actually shows up.
Yes.
It's the first time he's actually there because he's at like Doctors Without Borders.
Mm-hmm, and he comes back for Daddy's engagement party and whatever.
Yes.
That's where Daisy she clicks to it, where it's like, oh.
Yeah.
And then they talk, and the brother is like, dude, why are you using me as an excuse? Knock some sense into her. But my favorite part is Layla's summary.
Please read Layla's summary.
We have to read Layla's summary because it is the best way to I love how they do this.
She just sums it up perfectly, and it's fucking hilarious.
Okay. So
so they're at Dad's engagement party, and Liam goes to try to pick up Daisy, and the neighbor is like, "Oh, they're at the engagement party."
Well,
Liam,
the engagement party he freaks out and does it, but
because Liam doesn't realize that the engagement party is for dad and girlfriend. He thinks it's for Daisy and Rashad.
But before, right as that happens, neighbor tells Liam, but then it cuts to the party, and then the brother, so his name is Sanjay, shows up, and they tell him that Liam is with Daisy, but he's confused. And then Layla goes so he asks, you're together. And Layla's standing there with a discussion. And so this is directly from the book. And it goes, not just from Layla's perspective. It'll come back up. Not just together. They're practically engaged, except for the pesky matter of your dad's approval. Layla grinned. But you know what the two of them are like. They can't get it out of their own heads. It took a broken menstrual pad dispenser, a chance encounter, an inheritance, a failing company, a distillery, a rishta auntie, a hapless suitor, a spreadsheet, 7 dates, a sword, extra hot pork vindaloo, an Irish brawl, a sick dog, endless games of Guitar Hero, a hockey game, shark stew, a broken bed, a walk of shame, a quiz night, back office shenanigans, a jealous ex, a motorcycle crash, a crisis of conscience, a breakup, 6 pints of ice cream, 4 pounds of gummy bears, a partnership offer, a heart-to-heart, a family interrogation, a grovel, and a death-defying midnight climb to get them together. And now, apparently, it's all up to you. Honestly, she's such
she just nailed it.
She's Layla is a minor character, but by far my favorite.
Yes.
Because of just how she's so supportive of Daisy, but she's so direct about how, look, your sister and your best friend are insane, and here is why.
Yeah.
So there's not only that soliloquy, but it's also she's there, and her fiance is one of the sword fighters.
Oh my god,
for lack of a better term, and
right?
then she's the one that brings when they break up. She's the one that has
the gummy bears,
and the ice cream that she refers to.
And of course, again, like we mentioned, with the whole Avengers underwear, this girl, Daisy's breakup movies are not like The Notebook, although it was never my movie either. This girl's breakup movies is the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe, phase 1 through 3. She has to watch all of the Avengers movies and Marvel movies from Iron Man to Avengers Endgame. That is her breakup movie scheme. That is a lot of movies.
Listen, you and I have the emotional support extended edition of The Lord of the Rings. We have nowhere to judge.
Okay, I don't watch... Okay, let me be clear. The Lord of the Rings extended edition is not emotional support. For me, it is background noise. I turn it on.
It's still emotional support.
I turn it on and promptly ignore it.
I love Lord of the Rings, but my emotional support's more Pride and Prejudice, any version. Well, okay, anyway, let's not get into that right now. And maybe some Bridgerton.
Oh, that's another happy hour topic. What are your breakup movies?
Oh,
yeah.
I never did breakup movies.
I
did
love
books and drank and went and partied. Oh no, my breakup thing
movies
was
and dancing.
Get hot as hell and make the guy fucking just jealous. And it was a lot of fun because one of my exes was also brother from another mother for one of my best friends, and I got super fit, and we were doing something because we still were friends. He's like, yeah, her ass got hotter.
Yeah, I just disassociate, but that's...
It's hard to do that when one of your best friends is brother from another mother with your ex.
Yeah.
Downside of dating friends.
Yeah, but there's a lot of trauma behind why I disassociate.
Yeah,
but anyway.
to be fair. But, I like the Avengers movies, especially the first phases, but, and God, I get hot for Chris Evans' Cap.
I'm still like a take it or leave it type. Yeah.
Chris Evans' Cap did it for me. No, Chris Evans as bearded Cap.
That's fair.
I don't know. See, I don't know.
I really like Chris Evans as bearded Cap.
That's not my
Captain
type.
America, the first Avenger, when he first gets all big and bulky, and Haley Atwell does the palm to the chest.
That's
my
type.
I was like,
Yeah, but Chris Evans was having a moment when he did the Captain America movie.
Chris Evans is still not my style.
He is when he's got the shorter.
He's great. I like funny Chris Evans more than I like dramatic Chris Evans.
I just love Chris Evans.
Because he's legitimately
At
fucking
the very
funny.
best, I could say maybe for me Aquaman.
Well, yeah,
okay,
Jason Momoa is
Jason Momoa
amazing.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, my favorite Jason Momoa though, Fast X, where he's the unhinged Jason Momoa, and it is he does such a fantastic job as he's in that purple suit with the Princess Leia buns on his head, and he's painting his toenails, and I'm just like, oh my god.
Jason Momoa has an amazing amount of range too. He has a surprising amount of range for a giant, hot guy.
Yeah, giant dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
In the Dueling Hawaiians, I like Momoa better than Dwayne.
Yeah, oh no, 100%.
I love
100%.
Dwayne.
Well, yeah,
Don't get me wrong, Dwayne Johnson has his place.
But
Jason Momoa has better range. And Dwayne Johnson playing a character.
Well,
Jason Momoa.
My favorite Dwayne Johnson playing Dwayne Johnson is in Jumanji.
Yes.
He does. He's so good in Jumanjis.
Dwayne Johnson.
Have you seen the new
Johnson.
Jumanji movies?
I've only seen the old one.
No, you have to watch the new ones. They're fantastic. Between Dwayne Johnson being a nerdy teenage boy stuck in Dwayne Johnson's body,
Chris Hart doing Chris Hart things,
and then Jack Black being a ditzy blonde cheerleader trapped in Jack Black's body.
Yes.
Oh, fantastic.
I saw Moana 2 recently. Does that count?
And I mean, he's not bad as Maui, but Maui is Dwayne Johnson. Maui.
Yeah, Maui is
Maui.
Again, it is Dwayne Johnson playing Dwayne Johnson playing a character.
And the Fast and Furious movies, but
sure.
Yeah. Whereas Jason Momoa is Look, DC movies, the DC universe confuses the fuck out of me right now.
Hey now.
Yeah.
But there's something about Jason Momoa as Aquaman that is just
Yeah, because he spends 90% of the movie fucking shirtless.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Which
is kind of the point, you know?
And the whole thing with Jason Momoa is he's big and burly and, can lift you up and pin you against the wall.
You still probably don't have to jump for it.
No.
No, I mean...
Unless you want to.
You jump on Jason Momoa because it's fun, not because you have to jump.
Not because you have to reach. Well, maybe because I'm 5'1".
Honestly, you don't have to jump on him because he'll just fucking pick you up.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's fair.
Right?
That's what I'm talking about. Been there, done that.
Yeah. The guys that can pick you up and put you up against the wall are fine.
You don't want someone's going to drop you on your head.
No.
No, we're going to have a whole thing about that. We really need guys to provide input. If you pick up a girl.
Look, shower sex is not as easy as they all make it out to be.
Oh, that's, yeah.
But that's a whole other topic.
Look, as someone who has slipped in the shower at a resort while drunk and cracked her ribs.
And that was not even having fun. Let's curtail this. We'll get into that.
Yes,
that's a happy hour
happy
topic.
Endings.
Let's circle back.
Speaking of happy endings.
So the summary happens. The brother tells Daisy, what the fuck? Why is your happiness dependent on it? Shouldn't know. And she realizes, oh, you're the one, and all of that. It's all jumbled together because again,
Again, like I said, they get onto Ducati and just like
speed through all this. So you're just like, wait,
and so it's
where's
just
the
like,
timeline?
Okay, and then they fell in love and they have happy sex in the bathroom, and then everyone is great.
They meet in the rain because they meet in the rain.
That was one of the
because again, that we forgot that trope.
They meet in the rain under a bus stop, shelter, and they're like,
"That's right."
She brings it back. She brings it full circle though, because she does mention it at the beginning of the book about like a happy romantic thingy meeting in the rain,
or whatever.
And so they do it.
Yes. Well, I think it's because she can't remember what to say to her aunt how they met, and that's what he says, right?
I don't remember. We read this book about a month and a half ago.
More for me.
Because
I lent you the book, yeah.
Because, life happened, and we all have,
we meant to record this many moons ago.
But people have been getting sick, and, life happens. So,
the plague.
I mean, we're in the post-COVID era.
Not that plague, but yeah.
But we're in
the normal one going around for the season.
We're in the post-COVID era, so people should understand if we get some type of plague. I mean, we first attempted to record things, and I had the plague. And then
you were sick, and
then I had it.
Then Laurel got
sick,
got the plague, and then we're like, oh god, Claire got sick, but it wasn't the plague that Laurel and I had that hung around forever.
And there were like life things that happened with me too.
Oh, So anyway, it's been a while, and then I think all of us have either reread, or all the above this book once or twice. But we enjoyed it.
Yes. So when I last read this book, according to Kindle's tracker thing. So I probably last read this based on my reading insights from Kindle. I read this
a month ago.
Maybe about 100 books ago.
Whoa!
Which is for you, what, a couple weeks?
Give or take, month and a half, about a month or change.
Yeah,
because I reread books.
Because I was like, oh, I need to reread this, and then like life happens.
I pretty much reskimmed the whole book, and because I read it, because I like to just read it. But then if we're gonna talk about it, then I need to kind of sticky note or something.
But part of my problem is I didn't buy it. I just like borrowed it on Libby.
Yeah.
And like the wait list was so long for this book that I didn't get the chance to reborrow it.
And then there was
my
a
whole
sale,
life went fucking sideways.
And then we were able to buy it. But like, to be fair though, I did set a goal for myself for this year: 300 new books.
Okay. How'd you do?
New books. Okay.
New books, Kindle doesn't count rereads.
Ah, there you go.
I'm at 400. It's a low year for me.
Whereas
Goodreads says I read like 12 books this year, which is low.
I got Goodreads.
I stopped using Goodreads. It doesn't link to my Kindle, Dorothy Auto.
Oh yeah, so I got it.
You have to like mark it off.
I got it at the end of May, beginning of June, right before I went on vacation. And my goal, I was like, if I do really well, I'm gonna probably read 20 books. And so I read like 30. That's quite a bit for me. So
this does not count rereads.
No.
So Kindle Unlimited only counts new books. So I read 400 new books, but I also read a good chunk of old books, like reread of series, reread multiple things. Like,
but you were also retired. And you also, read, your reading speed is insane.
The retirement doesnst completely play into it.
No, but your reading speed is also insane.
Yes, it's the reading speed that makes it insane, because I read like a demon child. I'm
a fast reader, and you make me
look like... I'm a fast reader, but you make us look like...
I basically move backwards.
Yeah.
I am slow. I read slower now because I'm reading on a device rather than like an actual physical book. See, I read faster on a physical book.
I buy physical books, and then I try to get it on Libby, and I also have Kindle Unlimited, so I try to go back and forth for when I can't really use my hard copy, but I'm more of a hard copy girl.
Well, and that's the thing. For me, I think we've mentioned this in previous
I can't even tell when I got this book. It must have been like...
We got it when we first picked the trope.
Yeah.
October,
so it was a couple months ago, yeah.
Well, so this will air...
I don't even know.
So it's probably like late January, maybe the first week of February when we air this. Again, we have live, so everything's recorded a while back. We're not gonna... Don't listen to us for recent news history.
No.
One, we're not going to talk about it.
No.
Unless it's like a major thing, and even then, maybe not, because everything's a dumpster fire. This is to be enjoyed. So there's going to be a bit of backlog, guys. Like, let's be real. We want, this is happy fluff time, not deep shit, even though we
read
talked.
this book 2 months ago.
Yeah, it's been a couple months for all of us, but...
It's been a while, and a lot of life has happened since then.
Yeah, life happens. But yeah, they get happy ending, they fuck in a bathroom. No. They fuck in the same bathroom that she found her ex.
Yeah, so basically the whole book comes full circle because they go back to this conference again and they fuck in the bathroom.
The following
I don't
year.
remember that.
Yeah, they go back to the conference the following year where she's now CEO and he's again venture capitalist.
And he's the VC.
He's not a partner.
Yeah.
He's decided and he wants he's not a partner, but he runs like the West Coast place
Or something like that.
Something like that. And so they bang in the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
And then they run into her former boss again, who talks down to her until
and she's like, "Bitch, I'm like basically married to the VC."
She doesn't say anything.
Liam
is they're officially engaged now. Liam is the one's like, we're engaged.
Fuck
We're
off.
still engaged, and now she's the CEO. And the whole bathroom sex happens when he's like, "I got another sword," and brings the freaking not his penis. It's not a penis euphemism. He's not talking about his cock. He's literally talking about a sword.
He still upgraded the actual sword.
Yes, it is not a euphemism.
It's a I that's the one thing though. They don't use the penis euphemism for the sword. They just it's a fucking sword.
Yes.
And between Layla and this food, the sword is the third favorite thing of this book.
Yeah.
I do love
the swords were great.
Because it's just a cute little like humorous thing, and then again the Ducati drama running.
I really like and everybody says aunt differently. Like I actually say aunt.
I say aunt.
The auntie. Well, in the book it's auntie.
But they say like you would like a lot of Indian people. They say the name first, like Laurel auntie or Christina auntie or Claire auntie. They say the name first instead of how a lot of people would say Auntie Laurel.
Well, and I think it's the cultural thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, they say the name first and then auntie.
Because Asian culture. Like growing up, the auntie was always name then auntie in Mandarin.
Yes.
In English name, Mandarin, auntie or uncle.
See, I would say it like aunt.
But it kind of just depends on culturally, like...
Mr. Laurel says auntie, and I'm like, where did you get that from? Because that's not something I'm used to.
But I think it also, like, depends, because, like, it's like... I know from my family... Name auntie is like a direct translation. It's you say the name and then it's in Mandarin, so it's done differently. Yep. Whereas in English, it's on to the name. So it's just like a translation situation. I think it's just the way the language is. Don't get Douglas started about language because, like,
oh boy,
you get him started on the English language and the French.
He's a whole
He'll go off on a whole tangent rant at you, and it's
like that stuff though.
Well, then you and him can talk about that while I get drunk. Because there are certain things...
I can't do both.
Well, yeah, we can do both. I mean, to be fair. But overall, decent book. We should probably go over our ratings.
Oh,
okay.
Before
we get more tangent-y. So let's start with the drink rating.
Drink rating.
So for the Colonel Taylor single barrel...
I mean, I'll keep going back for more.
Yes, this is 5 cocktails.
I will happily drink someone else's Colonel Taylor.
Yes, this is 5. Well, this is like 4.5, 5 for me
shit,
because it's really good shit. But again, I would prefer the tequilas.
Yes.
See, for a bourbon, it's a 5.
So for me,
5
for a
cocktails.
bourbon, that's a 5. But
overall,
it's
probably 4.5.
4.5 because I'm more of a rum person.
Yes,
but it's probably my top. It's
bourbon.
A great bourbon.
Yeah. Look, let's just be real. As everyone probably already knows, the bourbon market right now is fucking insane, and this shit is hard to find. It's allocated unless you have connections or you're bourbon trading. Colonel Taylor's not going to be easy to find.
No.
So book rating: swallow, sip, spit, read while drunk.
This is a sip for me. I really enjoyed it, but I didn't love it.
Sip.
Same.
I enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed it. I liked it. It was nice. I'm glad we read it. But
it's a nice change from the first book we read for.
It's not a
our
spit,
book
but it's not also not a swallow
for this month because it wasn't unhinged in all the sexy times. Like
1 to 5 spices.
I think it's
it wasn't that spicy.
I would say 2. Dicks
2
have entered the
chat.
Two
I would
or
say
3. The 3 is more because there was more foreplay and craziness, but
it's
probably
like a 2.5. It's
2.5.
Dicks entered the chat and they were described, but it wasn't
really.
like...
I don't remember there being much.
No, you're right. Now that I think about it, granted, to be fair, mine might be skewed because I've read, like we've mentioned before,
a lot,
like probably 50 books since then, and a lot of these are spicy, like spicy, smutty ones.
That's the thing is, like I might be reading some some very smutty type stuff
And
lately, and it seems pretty tame.
See, I've had ones where it's like hardcore, like sex workers. I was telling Claire about it before you got here. Like it was like hardcore. It was
dang.
like I like kink. I don't mind kink. This was kink that even made me like, wait, what?
Yeah, I mean, this one was good, but it's not going into my rotation of like, oh, I'm gonna keep this on my Kindle as a
like sexy time or sexy time read, because like
I liked it.
Because since this book, I read a lot of
I'm gonna lend this to my mom.
Yeah, this is something your parents can read with
you.
Like,
can send it, yes.
This is something you can have on your Kindle if you're like
having
your
said
sister
that,
asks to
all
borrow
of us
you
got into this because we probably read our mother's romance novels.
But this
so
is
it's not like our
solidly-
moms are like chaste. But
This is solidly like 90s Fabio on the cover.
yeah,
like
totally
your
okay
parents...
to let my 70-some-year-old mom have it next.
This is not the menage, all the dicks trying to figure out where they all go. We did. So Laurel did send, so this totally is unrelated to this, but this does like give you an idea of why the rating is what it is. So Laurel sent out a video to us on Facebook. We'll probably eventually share it.
It's fun.
Where it is, I'll try to describe it to you. It is by somebody named Alistair Marie, and it's trying to figure out the why choose spicy seeds. And this is where there's 4 guys. So you've got the guy going in the pussy, and then you got the guy in the ass, and then you got the guy in the mouth, and the whole thing is like, where does the 4th guy go? And my response was
somebody else's butt.
In one of the, maybe it's a bi / female menage, why choose? So maybe the guys and somebody other guy number 4 is one of the other guys' butts.
Because all you got left are hands.
Or guy number 4 is in the girl's hands. Like this is like the spicy.
It could be.
That was fun because it was a drawing. It's like,
wait a minute, figure drawing.
Can we draw it out? Where the heck
I
did that go?
think we should reshare this to our social media so everyone will see it.
Yes.
Because it's hilarious, but it's something like that gets you the 5 chili peppers, right? Where you have to figure out where all the cocks go.
Where do they all go?
Like,
but this is not that.
This is definitely there's 1 cock in
But
this.
like 5 for me would also be like they meet and then they spend the rest of the book just
exactly.
having sex.
That could just be 2 people. Like, man, where was the plot? Oh, there was a the between the sex. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like it's just smut and no plot.
It's essentially porn with words.
Porn with words.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No, there's nothing wrong with
sometimes
that.
I like that.
No.
That's where you gotta go like dig out your vibrator.
Yes, but this one definitely had. This one was plot with sex in it.
Well, that's why 4 chilies is where's the vibrator.
Yes, and that's why 5 chili peppers is rode hard and put away white.
Yep.
Anywho's.
Yes.
So we will be sharing that video to our social media so everyone can see what we're talking about and give credit where credit is deserved.
It was very good.
Totally, it was good. We all got a good chuckle out of it.
So follow on social media, share wherever, subscribe, all the lovely words.
On your favorite podcast channel.
All the lovely things that everybody asks you to do at the end of a podcast.
Like Patreon, possibly.
Yes, if you want us to read books or get different boozes and recommend and... if we don't end up getting it, support our Patreon. Maybe we'll show up with a bottle. Like, again, if it's an allocated bottle, they likely aren't going to show up unless I buy it as a birthday present or we get it as a gift or something because, again, these are hard to find and not cheap.
Yes.
We'll try to, again, this is a rare instance where we're drinking something that's not easy to get to.
Yes.
More likely we'll have things that we drink that are...
easily accessible.
We're gonna try to have a good mix, but like none of us drink like readily available liquor either.
To be fair,
right? To be fair,
some of our favorites are very difficult to find.
You're gonna have to go to like a specialty liquor store. You're not gonna be able to get this at like a gas station or grocery store.
Or find it on the secondary market. Just as a warning for all the whiskey drinkers or the bourbon drinkers who are looking for things on the secondary market, be prepared. These are not cheap.
Nope.
Some of the higher end stuff that. Like the Pappies and whatever, can go for several grand. Okay, we got lucky with the single barrel Taylor. The bourbon market is slowing down a little bit.
But we're not always drinking one for that expensive.
No. Just be prepared if you feel like you want to try it. Just be aware that stuff on the secondary market is marked up insanely.
Yes. And to be fair, like, none of this stuff is really actually worth $1,000 a bottle.
No, you usually wouldn't. If it doesn't retail for that much, I would wait and see if you know someone that has it. Find a bar where the bar managers and the people that work there are bourbon drinkers or tequila drinkers, because guess what? The bars are going to get it first.
Or try to strike up a relationship with your local liquor store. They can sometimes get those allocated things. They typically have a list.
Yes,
of
and
folks.
there's a wait list or a lottery, so just, again, be prepared for anything that's allocated, because they're not easy to get to.
No.
But also, like, in the future, changing the subject again, Sara Desai has 2 other ones on here.
Yes,
Marriage Game and Singles Table. And
The dating plan is in the middle of a trilogy.
And so, like, I think I would totally be willing to read those other ones just, like, for fluff in between other books.
Well,
not fluff, but, like,
I tried.
Nice.
I checked
Did
them
you?
out
Did
from
you?
Libby.
Okay.
Started on the first one, got bored and sidetracked, and then went to some super spicy 5 chili pepper stuff.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Because I was like, I'm in a weird headspace. I need weird, smutty, happy stuff.
But sometimes between things, you need different stuff. Sometimes you
Yes.
need something light and nice, and sometimes you just need something hardcore and, like, so you don't have to think about it.
And then
just
sometimes you read true crime murder mysteries.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, we have, again, diverted before we even finish this. So, again,
All right.
like, subscribe, whatever, all the podcasty words,
Yeah.
buzzwords, and we'll talk to you soon.
See you next time.
Bye-bye.